What's going on, my friends? In today's video, we're going to be running through how you can potentially invest in real estate with less capital, less time, and potentially less risk too. So if that sounds like fun or something maybe you're interested in doing, then sit back, my friends, smash that like button and enjoy. So for the purpose of today's video, we're going to be focusing on something called REITs, and I'm going to be running through the following three things with yourselves. Firstly, what is a REIT? Secondly, why would you even invest in a REIT? And then finally, some options on picking good REITs. Now, obviously guys, you don't need to be a genius to know that most millionaires in the world own some form of real estate, and as a result of that, it's therefore a topic that often pops up on when people ponder how to become filthy rich or build some long-term wealth on their journey throughout life. And of course, my friends, if you've been following this channel for a long time, then you know the majority of my money and my wealth is tied up in property too. However, you will also know that investing in property or real estate, we should probably stick to the term real estate for this video, as it ties in with REITs, can be not only time consuming but also costly too. And as it requires a shitload of capital, it can also be daunting as well if you don't know what you're doing. So this is where REITs can come in and can potentially give you the opportunity of investing without knowing too much. Although I still think there's potentially better ways to get involved in property, but that, my friends, is a video for another day. So let's jump straight into what exactly is a REIT. So a REIT is just a fancy acronym for Real Estate Investment Trust. Now, initially it was formed in the United States around 1960, and there are essentially two ways in which it works. The first is equity REITs, where the REITs own a stake of real estate asset directly and manage it, collecting rents regularly and maintaining the property. Then you also have mortgage REITs, where they own the mortgages on the real estate assets and collect the interest on that particular property. And both of these types have a board of trustees who oversee the investments and make sure that everything is as it should be. Now, what makes this pretty neat, that's an acronym for never avoiding tapping that like button, is that they can be bought and sold on major exchanges, just like stocks and shares, which is pretty handy. Now, in the UK, there are a few rules that REITs must abide by, and it's very similar to the USA. The first is that at least 75% of the REIT's assets must be invested directly into property. Next up, a REIT must also own a minimum of 3 properties, and of those properties, no more than one of them can make up 40% of that particular REIT, and no more than 50% of the shares can be held by 5 or fewer people. Now, these, in my eyes, are all great rules for making a REIT seem more of a fair and viable investment for some of you out there. And also, REITs must be publicly listed companies and listed on the stock exchange, and probably the one that most of you guys are excited about, if this is your option and your investment of choice, is that 90% of REITs' taxable income must be paid back to its investors through dividends, which is pretty exciting. So let's move on to why investing in REITs could be something for you guys out there. The first and probably the most obvious one is down to affordability. We can't all just get involved in property and make passive income from it. However, a REIT essentially allows you to do this. Next up, we have diversification. A REIT will have its portfolio diversified, and therefore it reduces the risk of, let's say, one bad tenant, for example, completely destroying your investment returns. Plus, if you are an investor, having a REIT on your investment portfolio is also a form of diversification too. The next advantage, my friends, is there is a low barrier to entry. Rather than needing thousands and thousands of pounds and the knowledge to buy properties and invest in them, a REIT can be done with substantially less capital. Next up, we have liquidity. Now, one of the stumbling blocks in property is the ability to be liquid, as something like crypto and stocks. Conveyancing is a nightmare, underwriting can take time, and generally, if you want to get hold of your cash in a property, in many circumstances, it can take a little bit of time. Whereas with a REIT, it allows you to take control of your assets on a daily basis. The fifth one is transparency. Due to the way in which they are designed and set up, you can see the transparency of REITs and get access to everything that is involved within that particular real estate investment trust. And finally, friends, there's tax advantages if you structure them in the right way. So right now you're probably all excited and you're probably thinking REITs is the way to go. So what I'm going to do is share just some options on picking good REITs, and full transparency here, my friends, I've never personally invested in REITs. I've known about them for many years now, but I've always opted to invest in property myself. And even recently we started metabrics to allow people to invest in property for as little as a couple of £100, giving the same benefit I've mentioned in the REITs, only we chose to do it via the blockchain and the use of NFTs. The Discord, if any of you are interested, is absolutely free to join, and you can find more information in the pinned comment down below. However, I did some research for you all on this particular topic, and the best stockbrokers for 2022 for REITs and the type of REITs worth looking into are as follows. So eToro came up trumps, and full disclosure my friends, I am a platinum member with eToro and do find their platform very easy to use. You can open up an account for as little as £7 and you can trade shares with 0 commissions, and it was voted the best overall broker. Now another popular one was Hargreaves Lansdown, and it's actually the UK's #1 investment platform for private investors, and again you can jump on this as it was voted the best for funds. So that's 2 great options that you may want to consider, and of course guys, you can do a simple Google search which will allow you to choose the one best suited for yourself if none of those tickle your fancy. So now let's look at the UK REITs out there. In fact, there's around 50, and I'll just list them here to make life a little bit easier for myself and you guys too. In terms of which ones you should choose, however, if you feel REITs is where you want to be investing, please look into the following factors before making that decision: the average shareholder returns over the course of the REIT, the running dividend yield, the annual management charges, what types of properties they're investing in, how diversified is it, for example, is it all commercial or high street investments, for example, is that even a sensible option, and how well managed these REITs are. Now that's just a couple of questions that you should definitely consider before investing in these. Now of course I am biased, and if I had less than £1,000, I'd be investing it and putting it into Metabrics, where you can learn about property via the Discord for free, and you can also get passive income from being an NFT holder and part of the Metabrics family. However, if you want to diversify and have no means of getting involved in crypto or couldn't care less about NFTs, then a REIT for now could be a savvy investment for yourselves. And with that my friends, I will try and pad out some of the description down below with some useful information, as I do with all my videos, so please do read over that, as I will put some resources for you guys to check over and learn a little bit more about REITs. But for now guys, I think it's time to just say thank you. Thank you for sticking around when you guys could have been doing anything, but you chose to spend a few moments with me, and that makes you pretty awesome. So until next time my friends, thanks for watching.